Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 8 of Punchline Pixels.
Ooh, Kobe episode 8.
Whoa.
There we go.
Whoa. We have an obsession with Kobe Bryant on this podcast, as you can see. The last 2 episodes he's been mentioned. But a more important athletic association to be paying attention to today for us is them boys, the bad Lions, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, they are actually currently playing. We have it on record, so we'll watch it after this game. But they are playing Tampa Bay for division playoff.
To get to the conference championship. It's huge for us around these parts.
That's right.
Everyone knows
That's
it.
right.
So
this is legendary for the Lions, man.
Right
So
now.
cheers. Cheers to the Lions.
That. Yeah. I'll cheers my fast twitch.
Oh, dude. Quit dropping the
sorry.
names.
Everyone knows I'm sober, so.
Everybody knows that.
I make all of the worst decisions when I'm drunk. So, anyway, that's a good note to start on after we talk about the Lions. But anyway, hopefully they're doing really well right now. That's not what we're here to talk about primarily, though.
No, it's not. It is not. But our hearts and our thoughts and prayers go out to their families.
Jesus. Make it sound like everyone died already.
Well, maybe they did.
We don't know.
Yep.
If anything tragic happens at Ford Field today, I feel bad. Anyway.
It's like Schrodinger's lion. Stupid.
I love
so, shifting back to our
roaring start.
No! Dude, the lion references left and right. It's how you know we're feeling it today, guys.
Yes.
Feel the roar. Fear the roar. Is that what they say?
I don't know.
Something about the roar.
Whatever.
Restore the roar. That's
Okay.
what they'd always say when we were like 0-16. 0-16.
Has been
the
restored.
roar has officially been restored.
It's safe to say.
So, shifting into game territory, which primarily is what we speak about here. Alex, what has been going on with you in Game Land? Any new developments for you?
It's been huge, man. All right. So, I usually say, I've been working a lot, and, and that's true, too, like usual. But like we were talking about, though, in our last episode, I'm trying to make a little more use of my time, our gaming time. That was kind of your resolution, I think, coming into this year. I beat Alan Wake 2.
Woo!
And it is fucking amazing.
Okay,
and
so I want to hear about it, but just really be careful.
Not gonna spoil anything. Yeah. I understand that. I get it. But what a fucking fantastic game. I use that word too much. It was in my head immediately.
As soon as you said it.
So I'm in my head about that already off the bat. Anyway, Alan Wake 2, just everything top to bottom was great.
You had it in your best narrative of the year, am I correct?
Yeah, and I keep it there.
Yeah,
I keep it there.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah.
Do you feel resolved in the conclusion?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so I obviously I want to tread lightly in there. I don't want to even talk about what happens at all.
It'd be so fun to have an episode where we do discuss a game in depth, but like have the major spoiler warning at the beginning,
Yeah.
I haven't beat it yet, but I wouldn't mind discussing it when we finish it because it's been such a fun play so far, man. Truly captivating.
Yeah, how many hours would you say you've put into the game? I mean,
I put in more than what my progress would show because I explore it. I explore the deep down crevices of it.
Yeah.
I get real deep in there.
That's good, man.
I'm
You're
like,
gonna get in the nooks and the crannies.
Right. It's like the end of the shaft.
Equally important.
I'm like the end of the shaft deep.
Okay. So you're in the thick of it.
I'm trying to figure. Anytime I stumble across a puzzle, I try to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I explore each area before I move on to the next. So those games are really tough for me because I find the world design so captivating, man. It's really feels real. It feels lived in. It's very it's like the illusion is correct. Like, it's a very engrossing game. So yeah, I'm excited to get further in it. I kind of wanted to beat it before we did this episode, but it is not how my life turned out. Dude, I keep falling asleep playing that game.
See, I started the way that you did with that by trying to beat every single puzzle, and then I got towards the end and I needed to plow through it. My goal was to beat it sometime before I got my Steam Deck, which I did.
Boom!
I got a Steam Deck, guys.
He proved all you guys wrong. You guys all said he'd never get one, and he did it.
Oh, dude, everyone here was like, "Ooh, he's not going to do it." And I did it. And that's
I deleted all his comments before you could see them.
Oh, God, yeah. All the thousands of comments that we got about me not getting a Steam Deck. But, yeah, I'm loving it so far. A lot of the games that I'm looking forward to and stuff are starting to align a little bit more with things I can play on this.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't know. Not to jump around too much, but
I think that was a
Alan
pretty
Wake
natural
2
transition.
was on the main focus of my mind.
Absolutely.
Like we said, to summarize, still in my top narrative of the year. It's a psychological fucking masterpiece.
It really is, man. I've never seen the way it approached storytelling. It probably isn't possible in a movie setting anyways, but I just never seen an intellectual property approach storytelling that way. So it's just a really fun experience, man. I mean, it can be creepy, so some people might be put off by that a little bit, you know?
Yeah, but I don't put it in the same realm as like I don't put it in the survival horror realm of like a Resident Evil or, you know, Dead Space or a game like that.
Why? Because it's not as action focused?
I mean, I would say it is action focused still, but it's not like, I don't know. It doesn't have the same horror elements that those games do. It's not, you know, just straight up zombies or like some typical horror element like that. Which, yeah, it's more of a psychological thriller, which it's almost, I don't know, even getting into spoiler territory there by talking about, like, what is happening. So, I mean, I played through the entire game and paid close attention, and I would still have a really hard time describing exactly what happened in that game. So
right, and I think it's definitely by design.
It's a mindfuck, man.
It is a mindfuck. Yeah, it's been great, and I mean, you know, it has very, I don't know, you know, if this is even spoiler, because you can kind of see it in the ads. It's very True Detective Season 1 vibes.
Okay.
You know?
I could see that.
Yeah, but, you know, story-wise, True Detective's still far stronger in its writing. But, you know, I'd say visually, it's definitely hearkening a little to that. But Hearkening.
I like that word.
Thank you.
Anyway. Yeah. Fantastic.
So hopefully I'll beat that, you know, in the next couple weeks here, so I can finally move on to some other games that I've got on my list. Mainly being Resident Evil 4 will be my next download, and finishing God of War Ragnarok. So Ragnarok.
Back to that, yeah. Yeah. So I guess what else are you looking forward to? What else is on your mind today, Laird?
Well, have you heard any of the news about Ubisoft's execs?
Yeah, everyone. I mean, I stay out of like the news, I think, aspect of gaming a little bit. But like, yeah, I know that everyone's pissed off at Ubisoft right now because they said something along the lines of people need to get used to not owning their games. Yeah. Which, yeah, fuck that shit.
That is.
I'm a collector still.
Right.
I want to always have. I still like to get the physical copy of a lot of games that I, you know, play. So. You
know, but one of the worst aspects of it is even the physical copies anymore are still digital downloads. So the disc has the install data, and then it draws from the online portion. So even games like, I know, for example, a couple Switch games like Borderlands and BioShock, if there's no online component supporting it, you don't have that game.
I don't think there's a physical copy of Alan Wake 2.
There's not a physical copy of Baldur's Gate 2 either.
Yeah, or 3.
3, sorry.
Yeah, no, and that's fucking baffling, and
I know.
That sucks. So yeah, maybe they have a point. I don't know, but we don't want to accept that as gamers, and when we're told that by executives in an office somewhere that don't even fucking probably play the games, right, then that's upsetting. It bothers us, and we get mad, and that's when we get up in arms.
That's
and
right.
We start.
And what do we do? What do gamers do when they get up in arms?
We fucking kill people, all right? Whoa, what?
Right.
Sorry.
We go to Reddit.
Yeah.
And we post our fucking concerns there, man.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get heard through that.
Yeah.
Not enough.
We'll see what happens.
You know,
people are obviously upset, and Ubisoft has games, obviously, that are on the horizon that we'll see how they do because of.
I don't think there's anything exciting Ubisoft has coming out anyways. Can you name anything exciting?
Skull and Bones. I'm excited to see how it does.
I'm still waiting for the exciting part.
It's coming out February 16th.
I'm still waiting for the exciting thing.
Well, but regardless of whether you think it's going to do well or not, I'm kind of excited just for the aspect of seeing how it does.
Of course.
You know, like the train wreck thing, like we were talking about with Day Before and everything. But I want to see how that game does, man. I mean, what if they fucking nail it? Like, as a Assassin's Creed-esque, you know, Black Flag, like, fucking pirate adventure.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what they're going for, at least.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of that gameplay recently? I mean, I don't know if that was recently. I think it was about 6 months ago, but...
I haven't seen any of the recent gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just throwing that out there to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Of
I'm
course.
not like super looking forward to
Right,
it,
right.
but with Ubisoft being in the news with that, I think that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on.
I think it's yeah. Is it something that's going to be revolutionary for their studio? Probably not. I don't think any prospective sales would say that either. So I'm hoping to see them come back maybe to form with a Splinter Cell revival. I think that could really kind of change the game for them a little bit. I think things are a little stagnant with them.
Yeah.
You know, I played that Avatar, and that was an Ubisoft kind of tie-off. And it's that Far Cry.
Was that an Ubisoft game, though?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah, it was like either developed by them, I think. I mean, published by them, but not developed by them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah, no, we'll see how that goes, but I don't think, yeah, like you said, Ubisoft's not going to do anything groundbreaking with it.
Exactly.
But, yeah, could be a fun little adventure.
But
pirate games are a good time.
I agree.
I really enjoyed Black Flag.
But they're remaking Black Flag, so why don't you just wait for that, you know?
Yeah.
It's probably still going to be better.
The same game
Either
again.
way, I mean, if you know, it's going to be on Games Pass. People
Yeah.
are going to play it because it's going to be free on Games Pass. You know, so it'll at least have a little traction when it first comes out. We'll see if it has staying power. But getting back to the exec from Ubisoft saying that, you know, reading into that statement, what he's saying is like movies have gone all digital with streaming services. Music has gone all digital with Spotify and whatnot. Games is the only one that hasn't quite adopted that style. So I think what he's saying, for this to become successful, gamers need to get used to it being offered. I don't know if he's really being as doom and gloom as it seems. You know, after reading through his words, it's like, I get what he's saying. I just don't think anybody wants to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. No one wants to hear some dude worth, millions of dollars telling them
Some French fuck.
some fucking croissant eating son of a bitch. All right.
Yeah, that one I thought you were
I'm
going with
getting
that.
a little more unhinged here. All right? I don't really give a shit.
Oof.
I want YouTube to be happy with what I say. Actually, I changed my mind.
Right, they may have flagged our last
in the
one.
middle of that sentence. What did they really?
No.
Black flag.
No, whoa,
They made
full
a black
circle, baby.
flag. They're gonna black flag this episode.
That's right, and rightly so. They should. I think
Stupid.
that's good publicity for us if we got like flagged. Like, whoa, look at these badass podcasters, man. They don't
All
give a
press is good press.
middle finger to
what
the
they
law,
say.
baby.
That's how we are.
Yep.
Okay, we're the rebels of podcast world.
People know that too. I think we're starting to establish it.
I hope so. That's the reputation I want to have.
That's the vibe
All right?
That's the vibe we've been aiming for.
So yeah.
So
what we're
Alex,
going with.
I want to bring up our last episode with Baldur's Gate 3
Okay.
and the $20 you owe me for it.
Oh, I owe you $20 now.
You told
for it?
me you give me $20 towards it.
I mean, yeah, I still will.
You will?
Do you want to buy Baldur's Gate 3?
Do you have $20 on you right now?
I do.
Cash?
Is this happening right now?
You should exchange it to me.
I actually do right here. No, but
The
for
scene's
real,
so staged now.
it's not. That's off a whim.
Look at that.
Uh,
Hey, this is fake.
yeah, I got one of those counterfeit markers too. We can test it right here live. No.
That 20 will go towards Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
There we go.
Now we can play it together.
Now we can play it
There's
together.
so many fucking games I have to play though, but we
Same.
will get to it. We need to make a point of playing more co-op games. We've been talking about that, Remnant.
Folks.
I
I've
don't know.
tried, folks. I've tried to get this guy in some co-op games.
The thing is, we've got some big games coming up here.
I know.
In just a few days, depending on when this episode comes out. I don't know when that's going to happen, but we have the obvious Infinite Wealth thing I've been looking forward to so much. And here's an interesting thing.
Yeah, gush on about it. Let's hear.
Well, this is more of a negative. Did you hear that the new Game Plus mode is only on the deluxe edition?
Oh,
Or
no.
Plus. So you essentially have to pay $15 to get the new Game Plus for the
On
new,
top of the 60 for the price?
yes, for Infinite Wealth. Interesting. It might actually be 70. I don't know. But
It's pretty brutal news.
either way, I'm fucking all in, dude. I'll pay whatever they want. And I actually might buy the new Game Plus mode too, because some of that shit, the add-ons sound pretty interesting. That's a game that I honestly am planning on after dipping my dick tip into some of these little Steam games that I
Your
want to
deck
dive
tip.
into. My deck tip.
Yep.
into some of these little Steam games that I want to fuck around with this week. I plan on diving all in head first.
No protection?
Swan dive.
No protection.
No fucking protection.
Woo!
Raw dogging that shit.
This boy is wild. This boy is wild.
And hard. Let me tell you, dude. I'm going to get Infinite Wealth pregnant.
All right.
Okay? We're keeping it.
It'll be the first impregnation of a video game property from a living carbon-based life form.
We're keeping it. Okay? We're keeping the kid.
I don't know. What if the game wants to get an abortion?
It's up to the game, ultimately.
Why? You don't think you have a say in that?
I think it's the gamer's body, gamer's choice.
But what about the game?
The game.
Whoa, dude. You said gamer's body, gamer's choice?
Sorry.
Bigot.
This is a fucking
Bigot,
controversial episode.
I told you.
Right off the
you
bat.
are unhinged, though, today. You're unhinged, man.
Looking forward to that, though. Looking forward to that.
I looked into it. I didn't know it's the protagonist of the previous one as well, meeting up with the newest protagonist. Am I correct? That's always exciting. That's always exciting when properties do that. Did you read that article I sent you?
Which one?
I don't know if it came through, actually.
Well, there was one full day that I didn't have a text.
It was in Japan. They have like a live exhibit.
Oh, I did see that.
Did you see
that?
Yes.
Yeah. They had a real life funeral for the characters that have passed away in the Yakuza franchise.
It's so fucking stupid.
Very Japanese thing to do.
Absolutely, dude. It's the most Japanese thing to do.
Sometimes I wish we had a little bit more of those quirky things. I think Americans take themselves too seriously sometimes.
I agree.
But
I think Japan's too much that. Well, it wouldn't stop me from going there.
I mean, it would be interesting.
Absolutely.
I think it was like what they paid something along like a $5 fee or some shit to get in. Obviously, that's converted to US dollars. It was yen or whatever they use.
Wait, what are you talking about?
In Japan, the funeral
to get into the thing.
Yeah.
Would you? Here's the question.
Yeah.
You'd do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan of the franchise.
Right.
I think it'd be fun to see. And, I'm not just a fan of the franchise, but now I'm a gaming journalist, okay? Whoa. We are a member of the journalist community.
Whoa.
I would go there simply for the podcast because...
That's such a sacrifice.
Yeah. I'm in the line of fire all the time when it comes to this. And...
You're so brave.
Yeah.
You're so brave.
Yeah. I'm going to say, thank me for my service.
I think people who aren't involved in the gaming journalist lifestyle don't realize the risk that we put ourselves through. Saying the things that we say about games.
We show one allegiance to one side and then we're fucked.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. So we have to equally offend across the board.
It's true.
So I think they're all little fuck faces who went to that Japanese exhibit.
Fuck all of them, all right? I would never go. It's fucking douchebags. Trying to filter myself a little bit here. Anyway.
That was good, dude. That was good. So, speaking on things that came out recently, Palworld.
Oh, yeah, okay. Another game I've been dipping my tip into, bud. Have you been playing it at all?
No, I watched gameplay, though.
Okay.
Got it
on my Steam Deck.
I almost automatically assumed it wouldn't be a game for me, so that's why I'll watch gameplay of it instead of purchasing it. Mm-hmm. It actually looks more fun than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
It looks fun, chaotic. It looks like honestly, it reminds me of an MMO in some aspects, how big the battles are, and it's all just pretty stats-based and elemental, your support characters. It looks fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a survival, like, base building type game. You start off just building your party. They help you. Essentially, it's slave labor, where they help farm and build your shit and they work for you.
Is that one of the tags on Steam to describe
it? And wait, what?
Steam has its tags and descriptors. Is that one of them?
Yep, it's base builder, survival, slave labor. No, fucking, it's a lot of fun so far. You kind of start off small. I don't have any guns in the game yet.
Ugh.
I just have like a spear and some other shit, but that's how a survival game is. Honestly, it's more like Ark-esque.
Interesting.
It's a third-person shooter, almost, with its gameplay.
Yeah, that's how it looks.
But
it's very Fortnite-y with its camera system. Like, its camera setup behind the character.
Yeah.
And kind of how the shooting is handled.
It's a third-person game.
Yeah.
I mean, but, yeah, and it's got, like, elements of, like, an Arceus Pokemon-type game where you're throwing Pokeballs. I forgot what they're called in the Pal balls.
Pal balls.
I don't know.
We've all touched a few pal balls.
We've all touched a few of our pals' balls before. But
you know what I noticed though, watching the gameplay, is a lot of the models, and this might be because it's from a smaller developer, I think, the models almost look like you're watching a mod version of a game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some direct rip-offs.
They don't
Pokemon
move properly. It's like they're like stiff in their movements, you know, the character models.
Yeah, but I definitely think they nailed it a little bit more than people initially thought. And they came out like a week ago to their parents and said that they like other Palworlds. Sorry, stupid.
I thought it's pretty decent.
But no, they came out a week ago and
no.
and said something along the lines of, hey, they wanted to make clear that it wasn't another day before. This is not just, an asset flip or a stupid game that they wanted to throw out there and try and make money off of the spin that it's Pokemon with guns, you know what I mean? Which is what every tagline has said.
Right.
That's what we're going to put in the tagline of this video. Pokemon with guns.
That's right.
That's actually our motto for our podcast.
2024, Pokemon with guns.
Yep.
Punchline Pixels.
Yep, that's us.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
It's a good slogan for our podcast.
But there's no story in the game so far, you know what I mean? It's just a pretty straightforward,
I think
survival party building game.
Now, I don't play a lot of survival games. There are a lot of survival games
It plays better than you'd think, too. The controls aren't clunky.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's reviewing well. So, the numbers will speak for themselves. The player counts will speak for themselves after that initial surge. You'll see who sticks with it, and if they keep updating their content. That's the way you stand apart in this gaming world right now. It's so competitive.
Yeah.
There's too many fucking games to play, so you got to stand apart and entice people to continue playing with something that's different as well. It can't all be that fucking season-based content,
They do enough.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's not just a Pokemon clone,
for
sure. It's actually not really like I said, it's more of like an arc, It's not like Pokemon as much as a lot of people think.
Yeah, I think it's more of a visual statement people are making when they see that.
But a lot of the pals do look exactly like some Pokemon, and I could see there maybe being a lawsuit down the line. I don't know.
Nintendo loves suing people, man.
That's true.
Nintendo loves to sue bitches.
Bitches named Sue. Anyway.
That's right. So yeah, I guess kind of shifting then. We just had the Xbox Developer Direct a couple days ago. I had watched it, just kind of, with this new Xbox. I kind of want to see what Xbox has planned for the year, because I find it very unexciting as a system. I think the exclusives it has are great. Starfield's a great game. But is it enough to support the system? No. The Xbox's interface is not as fluid as the PlayStation's. This isn't going to be some huge dump on Xbox, but having said that, there are some games coming out with that Developer Direct that is pretty exciting, and I don't know if they'll also be offered on PC as well. I'd assume that they would be. But the first one is Avowed.
That is being also offered on PC, and that
sense.
was one I wanted to talk about too.
Yep.
Obviously, Obsidian knows how to make an RPG. They know how to craft a world like that with Fallout New Vegas, which is probably still my favorite Fallout game. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm glad I got a Steam Deck when I did.
Outer Worlds?
Yeah, Outer Worlds was great, and I think they're remaking that, or something's happening with that. I don't want to.
I haven't heard anything about that yet.
I don't know for sure, but I think they're remaking that or making a new one. But either way,
I hope they're making a new one, because they do not need to remake that.
But Obsidian knows what they're doing as far as that goes. Avowed looks really promising so far.
Absolutely. It almost reminds me of the Oblivion days of the Elder Scrolls. The battle system seems. That's always been kind of my critique with Bethesda games in general, is the battle system, and especially when it's sword-based battle, melee-based battle in Bethesda games, always feels clunky. Now, dude, let me tell you, Starfield, though, is the best shooting a Bethesda game's ever had. It's almost in line with some competitive FPSs in terms of its handling. There's probably a ton of people who would disagree with me on that, but I have only scratched the surface on this game still.
Yeah. Does it feel like, what does it feel like? Does it feel like Destiny almost?
It's
its shooting?
Warm and...
Okay. It's not unexpected,
I'd say Destiny's a good comparison, because once you're jumping in these areas, once you can jump in a shooter like that, it kind of changes the battle system a little bit.
Okay.
And the shooting feels good. You know, I feel like a lot of times with Bethesda games that they're shooting, it's very like, you don't get a ton of feedback from it. Either the enemy doesn't recoil properly or like your gun feels light and cheap. So I think they're definitely getting better at that, you know.
I like the haptic feedback that you feel in, you know, the PlayStation 5 controller. Steam Deck has that actually built in too.
I forget, did you get the OLED? Is that?
Yes. Yeah. So it, you know, feels really good to play shooters so far with the Steam Deck, but especially with the PlayStation 5 controller. Remnant 2 might be one of the best feeling shooters. So I hope
so good
that, you know, compares to that somehow. Yeah, what other game are you talking about as far as Xbox exclusives go this year that you're looking for, other than Avowed?
I mean, Avowed is the big one, and with that Xbox Direct, we got clarity that it is this year. So I find that's really exciting. Senua 2 is going to be coming out this year as well. I saw you just downloaded that in your Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I just downloaded it on my Xbox to play again.
That's so cute.
Great game, man.
Play it together, dude.
I don't know. I don't think there's much. I mean, we could literally just be
play
playing
it
at the same time.
Like with one hand while we're, you know, with the other.
Wait, what? What am I
Jaying
doing?
each other off.
Jaying each other
Jaying
off.
each other's willies.
That's where we're going with that.
Yes.
We could play it together, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could do that right after this podcast.
We could, but we have a game to watch.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But Senua 2 is another one I'm looking forward to. I think Xbox struggles when it comes to matching PlayStation's third perspective narrative games. I mean, with The Last of Us, God of War, all of them that are on PlayStation, Xbox doesn't really have anything like that. And if they do, it's usually something that PlayStation has as well, like a cross-platform game. So Senua is their opportunity to do that, but in the end, I think it's priced at like $40 or $50, and it's only like 10 to 12 hours long. So I don't think it's ever going to be anything that competes with God of War or Last of Us.
I get it, but if you do something groundbreaking for me in those 10 to 12 hours, then I'm in.
Have you watched any of the gameplay for it? The second one?
For Senua 2? I actually haven't seen a lot of it. What I have seen, it looks like, honestly, I don't know a lot about that game, which is why I'm kind of excited to play. It was only like $3 to get the first one and play that.
And I'd have to naturally assume they're discounting it pretty well right now to get people to play it before the second one comes out.
But it looks like there's some psychological elements to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's about psychosis. So
okay.
Yeah, and they bring in psychologists.
Basically the same word.
Wait, what'd you say?
It's basically the same word as psychological. So yeah,
for sure.
Obviously psychological elements. What were you saying? They bring in psychologists?
Yeah, they do, to talk about the experience of people with psychosis and applying it to the character to make sure that they're capturing it correctly.
So it's directly about that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, she has that. So throughout the story, it progresses. So
cool.
That's all we'll say on it. But that's another one. Yeah. And again, is that enough for Xbox to stay in relevancy? No.
You know what might make it enough? The one I'm looking forward to the most out of like whatever we're talking about here. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Copyright strike.
I'm dodging the copyright infringement.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that fucking game. The first person perspective, I've kind of got mixed feelings about that a little bit.
I agree. And why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think everyone kind of had more of an Uncharted.
Exactly what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Like, you know, but let's just throw that out the fucking window right
Which is hard to do.
Yeah. It's hard to do. But I think some of the first person gameplay they showed looked really fun. Like using the whip to like grab people and fucking do.
Yeah, but you're into
cool
that shit.
Like I am into whips and grabbing people.
In that order.
In that order, exactly. But yeah, it looks fucking great. We'll see what happens. Obviously, Todd Howard's involved. I guess it's not obvious, but
it's not obvious at all. But he is.
He's involved. So we can say that. And did you see who's doing the voice? It's not Harrison Ford.
No, it's Troy Baker.
Mm-hmm. It's Troy Baker.
Troy Baker's always
legend in the voice acting.
I mean, he's great.
Game.
It's fucking great.
Video game.
What do you think of the voice he's doing? Did you hear it like in that trailer?
I actually didn't watch the full trailer enough to see the voice. I just watched.
You told me you did.
I watched the gameplay footage, like of just the actual first-person gameplay footage of him using the whip to swing around and shit like that. I didn't see any of the cutscene footage. I kind of try to avoid some of that, to be honest, for spoilers' sake.
Yeah, but they're not going to put a ton of shit in there that's spoiler.
Yeah. But, I mean, have you seen a movie trailer lately?
Yeah, I agree.
They show
I always have to stop it. Yeah,
in a movie trailer.
Always have to stop it.
I don't know. That is honestly part of why I don't watch all of the trailer.
Yeah.
But if there's like a gameplay footage, something like that, that's what I watched.
Right.
So it looks like it could be a lot of fun. It looks like they could nail it. The latest Indiana Jones movie, whatever your thoughts are on that.
Trash. Straight fucking trash.
See it?
Yeah, dude, I did. And I remember.
Okay.
No, fuck no. Listen, I remember in one of the episodes you were like, oh, dude, Harrison Ford's acting in it. Like, he just comes through. Dude,
it's better.
It's awful. Dude, it's so. I didn't even finish it. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't finish it. I stopped it.
Okay, well, different strokes.
2/3 through, dude.
Different strokes.
I couldn't.
What you talking about? Will?
Awful movie, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't want to get into the weeds on that too much.
Hopefully, this game doesn't have too much to do with that.
I don't think it will. It looks a little bit more like, obviously it showed younger Indiana Jones like features. It's not going to be. I don't know.
It's
I don't know
between
how
the Last Crusade and not the Ark of the Covenant. What's the other
Raiders?
One? Yeah, it's between Raiders and the one with his dad. I don't know
Crusade.
Yeah,
okay.
It's between those two movies.
Well, it goes Raiders, Temple of Doom, then Last Crusade.
Then Temple of Doom and Last Crusade. Yeah, then is probably what it's in between.
Well, hey, looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Quite the opposite on my end. Not looking forward to it, but I'm not a huge Indiana Jones fan. Is there something on me right here?
No, it's the light. Hey, no big deal.
Yeah, I think I was definitely expecting third person. So the first person perspective, I don't think it lends itself to it too much. I'm excited about the puzzle elements.
Yeah,
that's
I think what I was gonna say.
But the vibe I get from that is the vibe you get from the Avatar game. It's the same thing, dude. It's like a disinterest in the property. So therefore, this first person game that's just set in it is just unexciting.
That's a very, very good comparison, actually.
Yeah.
Props for that. I'm very proud of you right now.
There's that paddle ball grab.
Yeah, I love Indiana Jones. It's my favorite. So I'm looking
your
forward
favorite
to
what?
it. It's one of my favorite properties and something I look forward to more than fucking. Yeah.
Did you like that last movie? Did you like it?
I enjoyed it more than most people did. I didn't love it. The fucking fantastical elements at the end were dumb as shit.
They sound dumb.
Some of the we literally, I think we discussed this movie when
not too much because I didn't see it.
Yeah.
So I think you just said it and you were ranting and raving about how much you loved it and shit.
I didn't say I love it. I don't think I ever said it.
Movie of the year.
But I will not allow that.
Okay. Next game in the Xbox Direct after Indiana Jones was Era?
Yeah. Looks along the lines of like a Civilization.
Yep.
It's probably a game I'll play when I get Game Pass with a mouse and a keyboard.
Those are some deep dives, man. Those are some deep dives, those games. Any game in that style is...
It's not for everybody, but if you like them, then that looks like one to definitely check out. Yeah. Yeah,
it looks like it's doing it well.
It's also an Xbox exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah, all those on the Direct, I believe, are, because it's an Xbox developer Direct.
That adds up. That checks out.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does.
And sticking on the subject of Xbox, though, with Starfield, they do have a big update coming out soon. One of the big complaints is traversing on planets. It's always on foot. There's no vehicles. So allegedly with this update, we're going to be getting some vehicles, some sort of new space traversal.
It's a big accusation to throw around.
Mm-hmm. That's what the talks are right now. I mean, I think everyone's kind of hoping that it's a Cyberpunk revival or a No Man's Sky kind of revival, but judging from what I've heard about it, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that,
Yeah, I mean, I haven't tried it yet, obviously, but Starfield...
Can you get that on your Steam Deck?
Yeah, well, through like other means, because you have to use desktop mode essentially to install Windows and dual boot Windows and Steam at the same time, because it runs through Steam OS.
What does the game? Why does it run differently?
I don't know the ins and outs of it. I don't even feel comfortable talking about it.
I understand that.
Like it's a little overwhelming, honestly. I haven't had a computer in a long fucking time.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
How's it feel?
Feels overwhelming. I haven't had a computer in a really long time. So you have to essentially boot up and install Windows so that you can get Game Pass and get Starfield through that. Starfield's not available on Steam, I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh, isn't it?
No.
Dude, that's so wild because when you look at
Windows.
Yeah. Oh, and is that how people play it? It like is through that Xbox app on their Windows? Because that's what I have. That's how I remote play my Xbox.
I don't know entirely, but I think that's how it works.
I could have swore that was
Steam
on fucking...
Deck uses Linux.
Yeah, Linux, yeah.
Yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that, dude.
So, but there's ways to make it work. I plan on making it work. And I have to do that with a couple games.
I'm sure there's a ton of Reddit chains that can help you figure that out.
There is. And that's part of what's so overwhelming about it. But hey, we're getting too into the weeds.
I mean, we're talking coding, right?
We're talking coding. We're talking tech here.
Yeah.
This is real tech talk on our episode.
Maybe that's what this becomes, is just tech talk.
I don't feel comfortable talking tech, and I don't feel comfortable with your foot touching mine.
Well, deal with it. You got to deal with it on both ends here. Because we're talking tech, and my foot is rubbing yours.
We're going to touch each other's feet, especially after this episode.
So, yeah, I mean, again, with Starfield and its update, I don't think it's going to be the rub. I think, give it another year and a half, I think it's going to age better with age.
Yeah, with time.
With time, yeah. Thank you.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, well, I think in 3 years... people are going to look at it pretty fondly, but I think it's going to take some time. I don't think it's in that state right now. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with the game, but I also think I'm not the biggest Bethesda fan.
I don't know, man. They might be due for a shake-up.
Can we just get out of that engine that they design in?
They need a new engine to work with, and
it all feels very the same. It all feels very stilted and
still feels
maybe
like
a little
Skyrim,
bare.
A little, you know.
Well, yeah, I think, or I feel like it feels more like Fallout, than Skyrim. But it feels like Fallout.
Well, I mean, it's the same engine.
Exactly, so. They all are in.
Which at the time felt revolutionary.
Right, I think it's the same engine as 76.
I think Bethesda needs a shake-up. I think they need a revolutionary. Someone maybe even to come in there
and start a riot
and
in there.
Just really shake things up,
incite a riot in the studios,
and modernize, I guess, their systems a little bit. But that being said, there is like a quirkiness to it, when you're playing a Starfield or. But
isn't it typically like a broken quirkiness?
That's what I mean. Like when there's a bug or something like that, that's kind of there's something endearing about it.
But why is that acceptable for them and not for a smaller developer?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
It's okay.
Hey, you asked. I gave you an honest answer.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know why.
But it
just has always been kind of
I agree.
Endearing. Like
the Bethesda jank is a real fucking thing for sure. But why?
Like why?
Like I get. I mean, like their games were revolutionary. Yeah. I don't know if their games are revolutionary anymore. 76 wasn't. Starfield wasn't. What was fucking before that? Skyrim. Skyrim was.
It'll be interesting to see what direction they go in, but I definitely think that they need to, like I said, modernize how they're,
I'd hate to see them go the way of BioWare. A great RPG developer kind of sinking themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little different. Obviously, BioWare got bought out by EA, and that sunk.
Well, Bethesda just got bought out by Microsoft, so you might see the same shit happen.
Yeah.
I
hope not.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All speculative.
It is.
This has been a lot of Xbox talk.
Well, it's an Xbox Direct.
Well, I know, but there's a couple PlayStation things happening.
Let's go.
Too.
Let's shift it.
This is kind of dumb, but Foam Stars comes out in like 2 weeks, and it's going to be free on PlayStation. Yep. So hey,
which isn't a PlayStation game.
I'm all about equality, like we talked about earlier. This is a diverse podcast where I make it equal.
Yeah, two white guys talking.
Shit on everybody equally. This is a diverse. Hey, just because I look white doesn't mean I am. But anyway,
that's the more controversial thing.
Is that a controversial take?
Absolutely.
Foam Stars. Looks like it could be fun.
Yeah.
I was big into Splatoon. I remember bringing up Foam Stars in an episode months ago.
Yep.
And I still think it looks like it could be a really good time.
I agree. I think it seems, if it catches, it's going to be hot. You know, because there really hasn't been a Splatoon alternative offered elsewhere. I really don't understand why Nintendo doesn't branch out some of their properties on other systems. They would make, if Splatoon was on PlayStation and Xbox, dude, they'd be making more money than by keeping it on a Switch.
I agree. Splatoon 2, honestly, was a little disappointing. It was pretty much the same fucking game as Splatoon 1, which is fun, but they didn't do enough different.
Yeah, but isn't 3 out?
That's what I mean. Splatoon 3
okay.
from 2. Yeah, that's what I mean. They didn't do enough different with that to change, anyone's mind, I feel like, and have them jump into that.
But what
I think
could
Foam
they do?
Stars could really, I don't know, branch out to other people, and we'll see how that goes.
I think firstly you're going to branch
audience.
out to a new audience just based on the fact that you're releasing it on a completely different system. But I don't know if I guess the game is structured a little differently. It's building up instead of just covering.
They'll have a battle pass system. They'll
Absolutely.
fucking do
Absolutely.
all that shit.
Yeah.
All the little addictive quirks that make you go and buy little currency, whatever the fuck they're gonna call it. Foam coins. Foam bucks.
Is that what you guess?
No.
Let's guess what the currency is going to be
Foam bucks.
Foam bucks is what you call it?
Bubble bucks. Ooh.
You going bubble bucks?
I'm going bubble bucks.
I'm going...
What are they going to call them, dude?
Sudsy duds.
I'm disappointed by your guess.
What? What's wrong with that, man?
Why would they call a currency duds? I don't get it. It's like milk duds?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just little misshapen balls that hold some sort of value.
Misshapen balls. What? I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
Damn.
I didn't have anything.
I was hoping you had something good.
I didn't have anything. There's no new Kirby games coming out. I can't think of anything for misshapen balls.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I'm sorry.
But speaking
Sudsy duds.
Yeah. Sudsy duds, and I'm sticking with it. On top of that, speaking of weird foam structures, I played the finals finally.
Oh, okay.
And I noticed that was something people did. They build like those foam walls, kind of like a Fortnite. I hate that they introduced that, but
used as more of a
deterrent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like a blockade that they'll throw up. Yeah. Pretty fun, man.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything I'll stick with, but I'm glad I tried it. I do like the system. I like the destructibility environment. Is it only the one map right now? The Vegas map?
Like 3 maps in the game.
Oh, there's only 3.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see, like we were saying with Starfield, it'll be interesting to see how that game evolves in the next year.
Yep.
I think that it'll have the staying power to, like, they'll obviously keep the servers up. I think the finals will be, people are playing it, you know
Absolutely.
what I mean? It's popular enough where it's going to have people stick around, and they're going to come out with new seasons and new iterations and new modes and new, destructibility features and things like that they're going to update, I think, constantly throughout the course of that game's life. And it'll be interesting to see what they do.
I don't play a lot of those live service competitive online shooters. Does it feel different than the others? Because I think it feels pretty unique. I think the system of capturing that money tower is like unique in and of itself. I mean, I know other games do something similar, but
yeah, I think it's pretty unique. The destructibility is what makes it unique to me.
Definitely.
Similar to Battlefield, I guess, how there's some of that in some of the Battlefield games, but I think this relates more to, like, the actual gameplay. Like, no match feels the same to me. There's, you can shoot out the floor and make the capture point or whatever drop through the floor, and it just changes how you think about how to go about capturing an objective.
Absolutely.
And a point like that. So, I think it's an interesting enough game that it'll have, like I said, the staying power to stick around, and we'll see different evolutions of it.
Seems like it has the funding behind it too. Who makes that? Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I couldn't even say, but yeah, it has the budget, it appears, behind it that should be fine.
Yep. But yeah, enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll stick with it, but I get the appeal of it. Mm-hmm. So, do you still have it installed?
I have it installed. I haven't played it in a couple weeks. I've been trying to, beat Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, it's been a big focus.
Trying to stick on one thing at a time.
Because that was your resolution.
That's my resolution. So far, so good.
That's right.
It's going great.
What's the next, what else is on your radar right now?
Next on my radar, like we talked about, Infinite Wealth, coming out in just a couple days. Yeah. But right before that, I think literally 2 days before that, And this is more of a PC-oriented thing, but something that's going to be huge, Enshrouded.
Oh, sorry, I was supposed to look something up on that.
Oh, don't even worry about it. I got you covered,
Oh,
buddy.
lay it on me.
No, it's an open world action RPG survival game. The visuals look great on it. It looks like Valheim, for lack of a better phrase, on steroids. It looks like a Valheim 2.0.
Definitely lack of a better term, because that's an awful term.
I fucking hate that phrase. It's a very overused, cliche term, but I couldn't think of a better way to put it.
That's why people use it.
And
that's why people use it. So now you cast judgment on these individuals who use it, which found themselves in the same.
It's the part where Laird criticizes me for things.
Someone's got to do it.
It's a classic part of every episode. But no, it's from.
I don't think I've done it enough this episode, though. I feel like I've let you get away with quite a bit.
Just let it keep it that way. Let it slide for once. All right, I go through enough. Clearly, I'm struggling. No, Enshrouded looks fantastic. I think it's going to be really popular. People that are into that style of game are going to love it. Open world, supposed to be huge. The combat's supposed to be
first person.
No, it's a third person.
Third person.
Game.
Who's the developer?
I can't remember their name, but it's the same people that made Portal Knights. I don't know if you remember that game. Some cartoony style, like crafter builder game.
Man, the name's so familiar, but I can't think of it.
It was a fun game, and so it'll be interesting to see what they do. The base building elements look really good. It kind of centers around there being like normal parts of the world, and then there's also these like enshrouded parts of the world that are covered in like fog that you can only be in for
didn't I say this reminded me of the book Annihilation?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Dude, we were
if
just
you did, I'm sorry.
No, we were just texting about this. I know.
Okay.
I know what game
you mean off air. We weren't talking about that.
Yeah, no. We were talking about this text messaging. Yeah, okay. I do know what game you're talking about. Yeah, I think it looks unique enough. Unique premise. Having those like. What do they call those areas?
Enshrouded areas, essentially. Yeah. But you can only be in them for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. Exclusion zones,
out of breath or like a,
Yep. And there's like bizarre shit in those areas too, right?
I believe so, yeah. I think the enemies are more difficult, more frequent. And,
it looks great.
Yeah, it looks
I thought it looked pretty fun.
It's going to be a good one to play on
PC
co-op.
Exclusive, do you know?
I think it's a PC exclusive. I don't think... God... I might be completely wrong about that. I can't remember, man.
God.
I know. Oh my God. But I will be playing it on my Steam Deck. That's why I haven't.
Boy, you've been dropping
thinking about
that.
what system
Bro, you've
shit
been
is on
dropping.
anymore.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? I don't gotta. I've transcended it.
You've stepped up.
All right. No, it really has opened a lot of doors for me. In gaming and sexually.
I knew that was happening. I knew it was going to It's endless, truly. You've hit the cornucopia of that content.
Anna Kournikova of content. Sorry.
So yeah, I think with the PlayStation, with
sorry.
I don't know if there's anything big coming out for that in the next coming months, though.
For what?
PlayStation.
Other than just the little Foam Stars game.
I guess that is pretty big for it, though.
Exclusively, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that PlayStation's coming out with. But, like you said, we know more about the Xbox Direct right now. That's why we put this bad boy right here.
That's right. Respect to the Xbox given. Always been the lesser system in the war, in my opinion. But I always did love it. Still is by far. If I compare many things between the two, I don't think there's only a couple things like in the marketplace when you're over a game, it automatically plays a trailer. That's cool. PlayStation doesn't do that. So it's small things like that I could be like, oh wow, they do that better. But for the most part, I think navigation on the interfaces is far superior on PlayStation as well, and its design and setup. So
I don't have the newest Xbox like you do. Like we covered last.
Well, I don't have the Steam Deck like you do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. This is me getting back at you for bragging.
Dude, I mentioned it once. You mentioned the Steam Deck like 5 or 6 times now.
5 or 6 times.
At least.
Yeah, it's fair. I'm getting you back. It's revenge.
Well, it's a bit of a exaggerated revenge, though, right?
It's fair. Hey, man, when you push back, you got to push back harder.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, then get ready.
And I hope these boys are doing that right now. It's not going to age well. Anyway, not going to talk about it.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. It'd only be jinxing it anyways, so.
Jinx, favorite Pokemon.
Is it?
No. So definitely the most...
were you about to ask me who my favorite Pokemon was?
Yeah, Jinx is the transsexual Pokemon, right?
I would say, or just drag queen.
Yeah, okay.
But also, isn't there like some sort of like racial indentations in like that design? I thought there was. I thought that was a pretty controversial thing back in the day.
Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Man.
Choose your Pokemon!
Dude, I don't think I've known Pokemon since like the second or third generation, though. So I don't
That's
know
neither,
most of them that
kinda.
Exist right now. Okay, if we're
talking
talking like...
original 150 if you want, bro.
151, you mean?
Oh, Mewtwo.
Or Mew. I don't remember who... I think Mewtwo was in the original 150, but Mew was the 151.
Seems like Mew would be the one that would be in the original, right? Because Mewtwo is the second Mew.
But wasn't Mew like a hidden battle?
I don't know, dude.
Dude, I don't remember.
Anyways,
do you remember the movie though? Do you remember watching? Did you go to the theaters to watch that first Pokemon movie?
Yes.
And got like the trading card,
yes.
like the ancient Mew card.
Oh yeah, I got it. I was big into Pokemon back in the day.
Kind of still are.
Yeah. Well, now it's all about Palworld.
Did you buy the last Pokemon on Switch?
No. I've been buying all of them, but like Sword and Shield I bought, but I didn't buy the last generation one.
Was that because
I bought Arceus?
Was that because of Beat 'em Up's review on it?
No, I don't pay attention to what that guy has to say. But no, I didn't buy the last one. Yeah. What's your favorite Pokemon? I feel like you're dodging the issue. I don't think you want to talk about it.
Well, there's no issue.
There's an issue here.
Oh
You're ashamed of your favorite Pokemon.
No, let me
Chime
think
in
about
the comments. Let us know what you think about Laird's issue of being ashamed.
Do you know
of his favorite
yours?
Pokemon.
I'm going to be thinking of mine right now. Do you know yours?
I mean, honestly, my favorite is probably Squirtle still.
Lame.
I know it's kind of lame, but I like the cartoon, the original cartoon.
Yeah, so do I.
And Squirtle was fucking cool in that. He was a badass. He decided to join along. Everyone else needed Ash. Okay, Charmander was literally being doused in rain, and Ash came out and saved him.
That was sad. That was a sad cartoon. There were some sad points.
Some sad moments.
Absolutely.
But Squirtle, he had his own gang of Squirtle dudes. He could have literally just kept being a fucking badass, hanging out with them, eventually evolve if he wants. Or not. Who gives a shit? But he said, you know what?
Turtle?
I'm coming with you, dude. Yeah, Wartortle's like the ugly teen version.
Right. Well,
And
Blastoise is pretty ugly,
Blastoise.
too.
Well, I think Blastoise is like when you break through to the other side and you're in your like 50s, you get the, salt and pepper hair.
Is that what Jim Morrison was talking about?
Yeah, he was talking about becoming a Blastoise from a Wartortle. It's exactly what Jim. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I get it now, dude. I get it.
100%
Damn, dude.
Wartortle to me is like the awkward teen, zits on your face, phase.
What would you say that?
But Squirtle's the shit.
Well, because think about Ivysaur. He's kind of that too.
I do think about
who
him
was after
often.
Charmander?
Charizard. Oh,
Nope.
Charmeleon.
Charmeleon. He was kind of awkward too.
You're right. Yeah, there's always that kind of awkward middle phase.
Yep. You don't really love having them in your party too on the games. You're just like, oh, I can't wait till they're a Blastoise.
Yeah. No one stops the evolution and makes them stay a Wartortle.
Yeah.
Is what you're trying to say.
Yep.
But yeah, for me, it's Squirtle.
Squirtle's your favorite.
We like Mr. Mime. We will throw him in there.
You like Mr. Mime?
Yeah, why not?
Did you watch Detective Pikachu? Did you watch that movie?
Never seen it.
Heard it was good.
Heard it was better than anticipated. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually. Chime in the comments.
I feel like if you haven't seen it yet, you probably won't. Unless, no.
Hey, dude, maybe I'll wake up someday and just go, hey, I want to watch Detective Pikachu today. You never know. I've been going on a deep dive through albums musically that I haven't listened to in a while.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do that with movies.
Interesting.
And maybe Detective Pikachu will be one of them.
You know what? We can't rule anything out, can we?
No, we can't.
Favorite Pokemon? My favorite.
You're dodging it, dude.
I'm not dodging it. Well, the conversation just keeps continuing, but I'm trying to think.
Why is it Jolteon?
What?
Nothing. I said, why is it Jolteon? Is it Snorlax?
No. Does Snorlax? No, Snorlax is not my favorite by any means. I don't know, dude. It was probably like.
Doesn't like Snorlax, guys.
What with Eevee? Couldn't it evolve into different ones based on the element you gave it? I think I liked either the water one, Vaporeon, or the fire one, but I don't remember what the fire one's name was.
Flareon?
Yeah.
Flareon.
I think it was one of those two.
Okay, I'll
They were,
accept that
they were
answer.
badass. They were badass, man.
You know what else was cool? Geodude.
Geodude
It's in
was
his name.
Cool. Yep.
Fuck.
Yep. And then he evolved into
Graveler.
which evolved into Onyx.
No.
Right?
No, dude. Onyx was fucking Steelix. Onyx was the original, then Steelix.
You're right.
It wasn't Graveler. It was Geodude, then something else, then Graveler. Graveler was the final form.
Yeah. Yep.
Geodude. Okay.
We need to stop. We fucking need to stop, man. Okay. What else you got over there?
This horse shit.
Apologies to the fan base.
This horse shit.
Awful,
this horse shit.
It's fucking awful.
Gonna play some Pizza Tower on my Steam Deck.
Attaboy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just excited to keep diving into that fucker. I'm gonna play more bullshit on my Steam Deck. Don't have much else going on.
That's exciting.
But that is exciting as fuck because it's, like I said, overwhelming.
Yep. I mean, the PC realm of gaming is limitless.
It's a whole new world.
Well, we're going to get copyright strike. Don't sing that. Well, I think we kind of touched base on everything that we wanted to talk about this week. I leave tomorrow and we'll be back in about 2 weeks. I'm going to Florida for work.
Florida.
But when I'm back, we should try and record another episode. So, folks, just get ready. Probably in about 2 to 3 weeks here, we'll have another episode out. But, Alex, the end of the episode, the crescendo, leave us with one of those juicy little morsels that you just love to bestow upon us.
Always remember to get a second opinion. Whether it's doctor or your priest. You want to make sure you talk to someone else. They'll tell you. They'll tell you.
You heard it here first, folks. That's it. Episode 8 in the books. Punchline Pixels. Thank you again for tuning in. Guys, if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. Now that we're on YouTube, we're going to kind of try and step up our presence on that. Maybe get some shorts out there. We'll see how that goes.
Shorts.
Thanks again for tuning in, and see you next time.